Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Corona Cero Post show for a fun day of action here on a nice Sunday here at Punta Roca. Fun Southwest swell. We had a dropping tide and basically bottomed out during that last superheat with those two young superstars. Caity Simmers getting the highest combined heat total, 16.5 points, couple of big eights. Excellent range. It's an excellent day. And the two good friends are just chatting it out, just like they did in the U.S. Championships in the Amateur Series. They've been friends for a really long time. It's got to be those like pinch yourself moments when the jersey changes from your amateur to a championship tour jersey and you get to share the lineup uncrowded here at Punta Roca. Caity Simmers finding an incredible rhythm and form. Hopefully you guys had her as your power surfers. Yeah. Joe Trappell, Jesse Starling, Tanner Gudauskas. Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up. It's her time to shine. Really stoked to see Caity just kind of make this world title race really, really fun here at stop number 5, Jesse.
Oh my goodness, hasn't she what? She is just surfing so well, and I feel like we were talking about a lot in that heat. She's just such a mesmerizing surfer, and I love watching her and just feeling kind of on the edge of my seat, not knowing what she's going to do, but we just had some incredible women surfing today, and I feel like every single event, the bar just keeps getting risen and risen.
You know what? Cheers for that.
Yep.
I like that.
You know what?
Cheers.
What a great day.
Surfing wins.
Surfing wins.
And I think the fun part about it, it was buzzer beater moments, a lot in the mix today. And one of those mornings, Tanner, where we weren't quite sure what we would accomplish, but now we're in a really good spot. This early in the waiting period, we're already setting up the quarterfinals for the women.
I mean, if you're not booking a surf trip to El Salvador after watching this first 3 days, I don't know what you need. This is crazy, honestly. And the fact that we've rocked up for the last 2 mornings and the conditions have been unkempt, let's just call it. And then through the day, it gets better and better and better. And the surfing has been on fire. I feel like everybody is just bringing their best and guns are firing, and it's just been amazing.
Well, we start off the morning with a big heat. Gabriella Bryan, world number 1, once again defending champ here at Punta Roca, taking on the fired up Yolanda Hopkins, one of the funnest rookies on tour. She had an interesting game plan, Jesse. Her idea was keep Gabby off waves, so I'm going to paddle her deep. She actually thought they might be close to a restart with 10 minutes off the clock, but in a 35-minute heat, it's actually 15. She learned something today and maybe threw her off a little bit with her strategy.
Yeah, I feel like it's an interesting strategy to have, and I think that speaks more to how good of a surfer Gabby Bryan is. If you're trying to keep a surfer off waves, then I feel like that really screams volumes to that. But Gabby, it's a hard task considering how consistent Punta Roca is, and as soon as she was on her feet, she was already dropping big scores. I mean, if you want to talk about power surfers, this lady is mine, and she was just surfing just quietly, so incredibly well. And I think I love that Yo-Yo identified the fact that she's a hard competitor to draw no matter where you are across the world, but especially on a right-hand point break, and thought, let's keep her off waves, but you can't with this woman. She is just too good, and she looks fabulous in yellow as well.
I mean, Tanner, I don't know how you stop the rhythm and the form of Gabby Bryan, winning bells this year, defending champion to this event. 8, you know, in conditions like that with a promising forecast to showcase more power with bigger size this week.
That heat was so fun to watch. Yolanda really did the best she could in the very beginning of the heat, but you cannot cage the lioness. Gabriella Bryan is the peak predator right now, and she's surfing phenomenal. Like the way that she is able to just have so much power on the rail and make so much excitement out of these right-hand points, it is perfect.
Yeah, spot on, and she's mixing it up with coaching, with I think is really awesome. You get a little bit of notes from legends across the tour and in different regions as well, and talking a lot with Jason Shibata in the lead up to El Salvador as well. So she's just going through these powerful surfing minds and going from strength to strength this season.
She also has her dad here with her as well, and I feel like she's also has this really cool kind of inconsistency of working with different coaches, but she's making it a really consistent thing for her. But in the same breath, she's got the same travel team. You know, she's traveling with Nick Christie, incredible filmer, Carissa Moore, of course, as well. So as she's trialing all these different coaches, she also is keeping that home environment really similar. And obviously it's paying off for her in a great way this year.
You know, we're back to finishing at the Pipe Masters, you know, and Tanner, we've got stories with Caity Simmers, Carissa Moore, Tyler Wright, you know, winning that event at Pipeline, and the some of the new school movement there that, Gabby Bryan's been maybe left out of. How important it is for her to really clean up a lot of the big points here early before we get to the final stage.
That's actually really an interesting point. It could be why she has so much emphasis. It feels like there's an urgency to what she's creating. She wants to lock away points throughout this year early, but she is creating a rhythm for herself. And when she walks around the competitive scene, everybody is looking at Gabriella. What is she doing? What is she writing? She is the conversation point. And so she keeps the narrative about her. So, I don't know. Personally, she could go out and have a great pipe contest, but she probably wants to get the job done earlier, make it as easy as she can on herself throughout the year so that it's not as much pressure at the end of the year.
Gabby Bryan moving on, still world #1, but the other stories were for surfers that are trying to get their world title campaign going, and that was with Caroline Marks, who brought some backup, always working with Luke Egan, but brought Mike Parson as well along with her mom, and got all that love behind her to put on a great show against Betty Lou today.
Yeah, little sisters here as well, and Caroline and that Betty Lou heat, I was really looking forward to watching that. And just when you think about power, evenly matched between those two surfers, obviously the only thing changing is their stance. They stand different ways. And it was interesting having Connor in the booth for a heat. He was saying, I actually feel like it's an advantage to be a goofy out there. There's a couple of bowls that you can find that give that extra exclamation point. And Caroline really proving it in that heat, because Betty Lou is such an incredible surfer. She's won on a right-hand point break before, but Caroline's backhand is no joke, and it cannot be taken lightly.
Yeah, two-time champ out here, semi-final before that. This is a very special wave for Caroline Marks. She took that long break, from the tour. Went on a boat trip, was kind of just finding her feet again, and she's like, yep, I'm ready for Punta Roca. Went right into a semi-final. So I feel like this place has some magic behind her, Tanner.
Even in the post-heat interview today, you could feel a sense of ease with how she was communicating. And that's kind of dangerous. Like, we know that she had to click the gears here in this event and turn around the energy within her season, and it definitely well and truly looks like she's doing that.
Yeah, when you look at the schedule for Caroline now, Jesse, how important is this event to get 10,000 points out of it when you consider the world title race as well?
I see it being a really important event. Obviously, Brazil, she's got such a strong backhand that she could find those corners and attack it, but I see women like Caity and Molly doing really well at Brazil because they've grown up surfing beach breaks and things like that their whole life. So then when you look into the next half of the season, she is known for doing well at places and getting barreled on her forehand. Obviously, Trestles is a really great event for her, but as far as getting the campaign started, this is crucial. The time is now for her to get a big win, to be able to back herself and maybe take a little bit of pressure off to if she has a couple mishaps at some of those events coming up. So yeah, I would say Caroline, she'd love a third title here, especially now going into that world title story in the back half of the year.
Love it. Live rankings, you can check that out on worldsurfleague.com. Caroline inside the top 10 now, up to 8th as she moves into the final series. We've had some really great whispers, kind of loud whispers about what might happen tomorrow. Surfline, thanks for the reports. Tomorrow feels like it's getting better and better with a talk around the contest site on some sizable surf for Monday, Tanner.
Well, it's hard to believe that we're going to get another potential run day, but everything looks good. There's nothing but energy coming at us. In fact, after tomorrow, things start to heat up a lot in terms of weather and what we'll be dealing with. So we're going to come down here, we're going to check it out and see what it is. But look at this forecast. That's definitely not 4 to 6 feet. No, you're looking at 8 to 12 foot, goes to 15 to 18 foot, and it arcs back down. The lowest I'm seeing there is 6 to 10 foot. That's insane. So 4 days we have swell.
Yeah, just thrilled to see those numbers. Thrilled to see that color green tomorrow morning, which should be, hopefully, fingers crossed. We're always scared to jinx things, aren't we?
Yeah, so scared.
Fingers crossed it's clean, but gosh, look at the quarterfinals we have set up. A big mover for Anat Lelior has moved all the way up to world number 15. That's 6 spots jumped, creating some big upsets today and in round 1 as well, Jesse.
Yeah, I love Anat and just the damage that she's been doing so far in this event, and we were lucky enough to commentate that. It felt like she got frustrated and then just came out the gates and went boom, 8-point ride, how you like that, and then backed it up again with a 6. I was like, okay, wow, and that means business, and you'd have to have that type of energy to come up against someone like Gabby. But I really love the look of quarterfinal 2. Luana taking on Carissa Moore. Carissa's air today was next level. And Lulu's been so consistent this year, so I feel like that's going to be a really fun matchup between those two women.
Traffic jam of world champions in the bottom half of the draw. You add all those up, that's 5 world titles within quarter 3 and 4. Well, hang on a second. 5 world titles on the top half of the draw with one human being, Carissa Moore, Tanner. This is big.
This is huge. I mean, this is exactly what we want to be seeing at this stage in the game. It's like every single one of these quarters is phenomenal. Like we've mentioned all day today, the Red Bull movie nowadays, Molly Picklum, Caroline Marks in that film pushing the level, and now they're going to clash right here to make their world title run happen. And underneath that, you're talking about such an intricate dynamic to see Tyler Wright go against Caity Simmers. Tyler in a sweet spot. She's laughing, she's giggling, she loves what she's doing in the jersey now, and Kate looked absolutely on fire. So gonna be a massive run day.
Caity Simmers, best seat total of the day, having a chat with Bella's dad, Jason Kenworthy, longtime family friends. They've spent a ton of time together over the years, so that was classy. For Jason to come down, give Caity a high five. He loves great surfing. He's been around it forever, making that Nike movie, Leave a Message, which still has a special place in the heart of all of us, but especially JJ here.
Changed my life, that movie. I'm not even kidding. I still listen to the songs. Like True and I still listen to Misery Business by Paramore to get all excited, or Hunting for Witches. And I feel like even then, watching the Nowadays film so recently, I downloaded songs from that film, because then you think about the section, it gets you hyped up as well. So it's so cool. I caught up with Jason. We spent so long talking about that movie as well and what it was like. And I was like, I am the luckiest person in the world to talk to someone who made like my favorite movie. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So cool. Carissa was in that movie. She's actually moved up to number 4 in the world with this run into the quarterfinals. So top 4 still standing in the final series. What's always great, a part of all the events on tour, is the WSL Rising Tides program, where we get to see the youth take on the lineups of the world-class venues on tour and get to meet their heroes.
We are at the 5th stop of WSL Rising Tides in our kind of expanded program, which is so cool. We're in El Salvador. We've got the top girls and boys in the Federation in El Salvador who are already competing. They're in the ISAs, World Juniors. They get to meet their heroes, and hopefully we see the next pro on tour in a couple years.
I'm excited to meet them because they're like the people that I admire. I want to be like them one day.
We got Caity Simmers, we have Steph Gilmore, Brian Perez, Alan Cleland, Luke Thompson, and we've got Nadia Irisarbe.
It's amazing to give them a little bit of our knowledge and of our time, so they can dream about it and hopefully someday be here with us.
So excited to see so many young girls still involved in surfing, and the numbers of women in the surf around here in El Salvador is growing rapidly.
Every year it's been growing more girls, and I'm so happy to help them, and it's amazing that we can do it now that we are so safe in this country, you know.
¿Qué consejo le daría a ti misma hace 10 años atrás?
Enjoy it, be passionate, and be grateful.
Erin Brooks has done something that's absolutely incredible. She has donated a Lost surfboard at every single stop on tour this year in partnership with Lost Surfboards. The kid not only gets a board, but a custom surfboard to their dimensions. So we're really excited to give a girl here that board and kind of give her that next step into her career.
I feel so excited for this obsequio for Erin Brooks. She's one of my favorite surfers.
The goal is that every single one of these stops is to have the next World Tour surfer in our event. We want to see an El Salvador Rookie of the Year, an El Salvador surfer on tour forever. I mean, we hope to make that impact at every single stop, and yeah, we'll see her on tour soon.
Rising Tides!
Such a rad program, WSL Rising Tides, presented by IC Sunglasses. Jesse Starling, can you imagine if you had that program while you're growing up in North Narrabeen? I mean, it's a hard place to catch a wave. If you had your heroes there to push you in and get you psyched, how cool would that be?
It would be pretty cool. I think I was, maybe 17 when the tour actually came home, and I worked the merchandise store when we had that one CT event at Narrabeen. I remember like watching all my heroes walk past, and I was like, oh my God. Like, it's so cool that they're so integrated into that next generation coming through. But to answer your question, it would have helped a lot.
The boys have been getting involved too, Sander. There's been some young boys getting in the WSL Rising Tides this year as well. How rad is that?
What I love about the Rising Tides is it takes the event event location and it integrates it to the local community. We had lower trestles, so I was kind of the same. Like I grew up watching all my heroes come through town and surf, but actually having a day where I could have interacted and surfed with them, it would have been huge for me. I mean, over time you get that connection, but it puts them on a super highway to believe in themselves that they have that run to become on tour, and it just will go. It'll just blossom from here. You're already seeing it here in El Salvador. There's a bunch of kids ripping, so I'm super stoked on it.
Great to see. Well, we saved the best for last. Caity Simmers, best combined heat total, 16.5 of the event, is hanging out with Chris Cote.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. 16.5 heat total. Well, the Simmers family Instagram described your trip to Australia as a funathon. Is the funathon continuing here in El Salvador?
Yes, I'd say so. In that heat, I had a lot of fun on surfing just because I love surfing, and I've been feeling really good, and I've just really connected to every wave I'm on. And it's just been really enjoyable to actually get a lot of waves and surf how I want to surf and work on different kind of little things. And that heat was kind of sad because it was one of my good friends. And before the heat, you're thinking about both outcomes of the heat, and both outcomes were kind of sad because I was if I win, then I beat my friend and she doesn't win, and then if I lose, then I lose, and that sucks too. So it was kind of a weird emotion going into that heat, but I guess sometimes you have to it's kind of brutal, but you kind of just have to be ruthless and not attach yourself to your emotions to that person that's in your heat, and you kind of just have to surf as good as you can, and that was kind of what I did, and I'm really happy I did. But yeah, there's some weird feelings of that heat for sure.
It's almost like you gotta leave your heart on the beach and go out. But it looked like you guys had a little moment after the heat when you were free surfing, I guess, at that point. Did you guys talk about anything?
I was just there was 2 minutes left in that heat, and we kind of made eye contact, and I was just we just started laughing, kind of uncomfortable laughs in a way, weird uncomfortable laughs, but and oh, that kind of sucked. But I feel like Bella is been learning a lot this year, and I think it's her second year on tour, and so I don't know. I think it's just hopefully she bounces back and gets some crazy results, because she's one of my best friends, and I want her with alongside me in this tour life, because I stayed with her in Gold Coast, and yeah, she's one of my homies. So hopefully Bella can. I mean, even when there was 2 minutes left, I was don't say good job to me, go on this wave, do an air, and get another set, and you got it. She's been surfing so good these last couple days. I've been very impressed by her surfing this kind of lead up to this event, and so it just sucked that we were against each other this early. But
well, you know what you could do as a tribute? Win this contest.
Yeah, in honor of Bella. This one's for Bella.
All right, well, good job. That was such a fun heat to watch. Can't wait to see more from Caity Simmers.
Thank you very much, Chris. That was cool to hear from Caity, learn more about the relationship that she has with Bella Kenworthy. Probably completely different feels when you'd beat your sister in a heat, where you're take that, but I mean, when you're that close on.
How did you know that?
Just a wild guess. But it's great to see Caity put on that type of rail work, the purity, the soul of her lines. They're not trackable. Only in her mind, what she sees. Total artist. And to see her in this kind of flow is great because, even when she has a late start to maybe winning events in this season, she's not someone you ever really worry about, is it, No,
not at all. I feel like Caity's just that type of surfer that everyone's always looking over their shoulder, what is she going to do? Because she has this incredible bag of tricks, and I think when I mentioned it earlier, you're just so on the edge of your seat when you watch Caity surf because you're not sure what's going to happen. And I think that's a major threat for a lot of the competitors because they don't know the type of heat that Caity's going to surf. And that adds this other amount of pressure where you're okay, how do I go up against someone like Caity because she's so unpredictable? But it works in her favor. I don't think she means to be like that. It's just who she is. Yes. And I love that about her. And she's someone that I just really enjoy watching surf.
Tanner, it's like someone you don't worry about heading into pipe. You know, if we keep that theme going as a world title, she's going, yeah, stoked. 15,000 points for the Pipe Masters, where she's done so well in the past. Last thing her title threats want is her to catch fire early, especially with a lot of points on the line here.
She charges. We talked a lot about that in the booth when we commentated her heat, that she has taken an outside of the box approach to becoming a world champion, which includes a lot of heavy water training and a lot of aerial training. So we've already seen her charge a pipeline. She could definitely consolidate a world title there, especially with those added points. But just seeing Caity Simmers catch heat at any point in the year, I'm sure people start to freak out a little bit. She's hard to chart, you know, and I think as a surf fan, it's so fun to watch, because even that, you never can look away, because she might go super dynamic and click into gear at any point in any wave. So she keeps your attention on her the whole time.
Awesome. Caity Simmers giving us the highlight reel at the end of the day. Let's now focus on the best moments of the day. Top 5 coming up next here on the Corona Cero Post Show. Starting at number 5 on the list, Molly stays undefeated over the Australian legend Sally Fitzgibbons. 3 straight wins here in 2026.
Yeah, I love this for Pickles. It's so funny. Growing up, Molly and I would look at women like Sally and be like, yes, we want to surf like her. And now she's competing against her. And no matter what or where you are or what stage of life you're in, if you're coming up against Sally Fitzgibbons, you have to bring your A game. So Molly, working with Chris Bond, they make a great team.
Yeah, they spent some time together last year as well through the pool and other events. Number 4 on the list, Gabriella Bryan. Excellent range with those power hooks, Tanner.
I honestly can't tell you how enjoyable it was to just watch these waves come in and her belt them. She did such a great job. She had a slow and quiet start, and then she unleashed on both of these rides. That last turn specifically was such a treat to see.
Well, Gabby Bryan has a lot of fans. She's trying to go back-to-back here at Punta Roca. And then we saw an all-goofy foot battle. And our good friend Tanner there working with Sawyer. It was Anat Lelior's day. She beat Steph Gilmore in the opening round. Now beat world number 5, Sawyer Lindblad.
Yeah, this was the heat where, sorry Tanner, Anat really did just catch fire. And it felt like Sawyer started so well. She was placing her turns perfectly, but Anat looked like she was getting frustrated. And then she came out of the gates with this wave, and I was going, what the hell is going on with Anat? She is just surfing so good. That was her 6, and then she got this 8 that was honestly incredible. The end turn was so high risk, and she laid it all on the line, and she's definitely feeling a lot at home with so much Israeli support on the beach here in El Salvador.
1 spot behind Nadia Aristarbe in the Rookie of the Year race now, as we see number 2 on the top 5. And a surprise, surprise, Caity Simmers, so smooth today.
So smooth, but also not lacking in radicality. Like, her turns look dynamic, and she's just charging into each and every section. We're thinking definitely Caity Simmers will be going deep into this draw as she comes up against Tyler Wright tomorrow if we run. Look at that turn. You kidding me?
That was the definition of flow, of precision, and you can tell she's just having a whole lot of fun. That's a fun conversation with Tommy Witz as she'll prepare for quarterfinals. And then a buzzer beater from one of the all-time greats, fresh off the win in Raglan. And when she thought she might be going down, she pulled this off.
I was screaming at the TV in this. I was going, are you kidding me? Just the amount of pop, tail lift that she got on that. She got 2 turns out the back as well. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's racing for an air. She's going to go for an air. And Carissa Moore has landed arguably more airs in competition than anyone on the women's side. And coming in clutch with a crazy air reverse at the end there. And bring it on. Let's see more of it. So Riss, I'm loving the mama energy that she's bringing this year.
You know, for watching Carissa for a long time, I don't remember too many up and down kind of results. Usually when she catches fire, her confidence is there. She has that Carissa glow, and then she just creates moments for herself. When the champs are challenged, they rise. And we got a little taste of that today, Tanner.
You know, we talked I got to call that heat, and it was fantastic. It was so fun to watch because she kept going and going. And Brisa was having a really great heat. You could tell that she was competing her way to that opportunity to then solidify at the end of that heat. But we talk a lot about her mom energy. She's doing it with a different purpose. And I feel like she's always identified as a world champion. She's in that conversation. And now she's had such a life-changing moment. Is she defining herself as a mother, world champion? And what was that like for her to step back on tour? And now you see her catch that fire after Raglan. And it's so beautiful to see her like keeping that heat. That was a challenging heat today, and she just did not give up.
Yeah, that was magic. Well said. That's just exactly what champions look for, how to find purpose when you've done this a long time, and that's Rissa's purpose now. She's doing it for her whole family, and she's bringing more fire.
I genuinely get goosebumps when I think about what she's doing. Her win at Raglan, it was one of the most incredible things I've witnessed. Obviously, she won, but to win after creating a life is crazy. Like her body would have changed so much over the last 2 years, and the fact that she's come back and wiped everyone out of the water on a new stop on tour and found this incredible just connection with that place, and then now is coming here and pushing the sport yet again, going progressive. I'm just like, girl, I can't get enough of you. Like, she's just the coolest person ever. And then you talk to her on land and she has time for everyone. I'm like, you keep getting better and better. I don't understand. And she's such a role model. I love it.
Said you guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh,
cheers.
yeah, there we
Corona
go.
Cero, 100% natural ingredients, 100% refreshing taste, 0 alcohol. We are so stoked to be in your company. Remember, we still have men's round 3 to enjoy. There is a sneaky little Jack Robinson-Medina clash to look forward to in that round, and also the quarterfinals for the women. We'll leave you with today's highlights, and join us tomorrow morning for the call at 7:30 a.m. local time. Salud. Cheers, you guys. Who needs another?
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.